All right, Evan, welcome back for another episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Wednesday, October 6th, 2021. So market's having a red to green day, at least so far here. About 45 minutes left to go in the trading day. But a nice little afternoon rally here for the markets. Now, I want to point out something here on the futures. I tweeted this out yesterday, but if you notice here, if we just zoom in on the hourly, you can see we're making higher lows and lower highs here, so kind of putting in kind of a wedge. And for right now, as of right now, we backed off of this trend line, and we're retracing a little bit here in the final hour. But if this trend line holds up, that would be, that would essentially make this, a bearish wedge in my book. I mean, you have a move down and then consolidation beneath the 100 MA. That would be a bearish pattern. So that's something to just keep an eye on there. But for right now, market's holding up and having a nice red to green day, led by names like Microsoft. Big tech's really leading right now. Google having a nice day. Apple just breaking flat, but it wasn't definitely not the leader here. The leaders are Microsoft and Google, but Apple having a decent day, going red to green here. Let's take a look at Netflix. Netflix really been a tank so far. And Tesla has cooled off a little bit, but it looks like Tesla is consolidating here inside of this green bar, potentially for a move up. But there is a lot of resistance here at 800, so it's going to take some work to get through that. Some other things going on. We've got, let's take a look at the dollar here. So dollar actually positive today, with the markets green. And with yields backing off a little bit, yields backing off, giving tech a little bit of bid. So triple Qs may be finding a little bit of a short-term bottom here. But again, if they start going sideways again, like the S&P here, could be setting up for a bearish pattern. But moving back to the dollar here, again, we talked about the 94.50 area. It's going to take some work. There's a lot of resistance in this area here. If we zoom out on the chart, there's quite a bit right here, 94.50, 94.60. And so the dollar's probably got some work to do to get through that. It's not just going to cut right through that like a knife. The other side of that is gold right now. So gold is actually holding up and it's starting to go sideways again. We talked about this. If it consolidates beneath this 20 MA, it could tell you that it has a little bit of a pop in it, possibly to go up and attack this 1800 area. Silver also coming off the lows nicely, and platinum getting a bit as well. You guys know I've been liking platinum here. Nice pop today, but I still think it has a little bit more backing and filling to do to really get through this 1025 area. I think that's probably where it stalls out in the near term if it gets up there. But nice little pop today on platinum with good volume there too. So nice move there. Another big story on the day is Bitcoin. So I talked to you guys a little bit about this yesterday. I did not like calling this a breakout now. You can make a case that we have a breakout now because you've gotten above this red high pivot. You guys know I've been talking about this trend line for months, and we finally got up there, and we're testing that now. So we'll see if that holds. But for right now, Bitcoin is above 55,000. Up 7% on the day, so big move there for Bitcoin. And if it gets above this area and it can confirm above that, it probably shoots right up to 65, 70,000, and in very short order. But if it rejects it, then we know it's probably headed back lower. But that would be a pretty epic bear market rally, and it'd be a pretty epic fake out if they slammed it down here. But right now, give it the benefit of the doubt, crypto's holding up, and again, I talked about this a few weeks ago, but the higher yield could be signaling, a major risk-on move here. And we know that the Russell 2000 has held up really well. Despite the market selling off, it's actually putting in higher lows here, and that could be setting up for a run later this year. That is definitely on the table as a possibility. But near term, we'll just kind of take things day by day here. Again, I still think there's a potential for a bearish pattern here on the futures, S&P. Same thing here on the SPY, just kind of this sideways chop here. So we'll be watching for that. Energy, let's take a look at crude. So crude backing off a little bit. So we did confirm on the daily time frame yesterday above this pivot, but we're now back testing it a little bit here. And again, the big test for me is, can we close above this pivot on the weekly candle? And if that happens, then that would be a much more confirming signal to me. If not, then it could be a fake breakout there on crude. Nat gas also coming back in sharply. Look at that move, almost down 10% here. It was almost up at 650 at one point. I had a 1618 here for a possible max move around 660. Didn't quite get there. Doesn't mean it can't do it tomorrow. I mean, this has been putting in some really volatile chop here. I'd almost be surprised, or almost wouldn't be surprised if it did reverse and get all the way back up there tomorrow. So that's definitely on the table. But that's how you know when an equity is starting to top out. When you see all that volatility at the top there like that, that's usually a sign that it's getting tired. But nat gas, still above 550 for now. So, and it's above all its moving averages, so there's nothing to say it can't go higher in the near term. XLE also stalling out a little bit here and backing off. Again, this was the target of the inverse head and shoulders that I had, and it tagged that, and now it's backing off. So normal behavior there. Same thing, XOP, backing off of that, backing off of the highs as well. Now back below the previous double top there in that gap fill, although a little bit above that, but it was below earlier today. But anyways, that's about it. Transport's having a nice day, despite FedEx finally getting a bounce, but it's been weak. UPS, airlines are in the red, but the big winner right now is the rails. I mean, take a look at CSX. That's been a powerhouse. So big move there from the rails the last couple of days. That is helping the transports. But outside of that, I think that's about all I got for you today. Again, big tech leading. We'll see where this market closes. And again, we really want to watch this this wedge pattern on the futures closely. If it stays backing off from this and starts to reverse, it's going to tell you it probably wants to go back down and test this 4,300, 4,280 area. So just keep an eye on that. But anyways, guys, take care. I will talk to you tomorrow, and see you later.